The sell-off accelerated today on Wall Street. The Dow plunged more than 650 points, continuing on the road to its worst December since the Great Depression in 1931. Dow stocks have lost $1 trillion this month. President Trump's Twitter attacks on the Federal Reserve chairman for raising interest rates seemed to add to the tension, as did Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin's attempt to instill calm about banking finances. Today, Mnuchin arranged a meeting with top regulators to discuss what comes next. Errol Barnett has more on all of this.
The closing bell on Wall Street today triggered alarm bells in Washington after the stock market saw its worst Christmas Eve performance in history. The Dow hit its lowest point of the year, while the S&P 500 is on track for its worst December ever. Trade wars and the government shutdown are deepening investor uncertainty, as are President Trump's swipes at the independent Federal Reserve Bank. The president tweeting today, quote, "The only problem our economy has is the Fed. They don't have a feel for the market," likening it to a powerful golfer who can't putt.
Nothing will deter us from doing what we think is the right thing to do.
After announcing another rate hike last week, Fed Chair Jerome Powell underscored the importance of being free from government influence.
We have the independence, which we think is essential to be able to do our jobs in a non-political way.
Economist Diane Swonk says the president's criticism of Powell is not helpful.
Well, it's certainly not something that's productive to do for financial markets.
Swonk also believes Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin may have made things worse when he released this surprise Sunday statement saying the country's 6 largest banks have ample liquidity.
Because we weren't worried about the banks, and all of a sudden you're telling us maybe we should worry about the banks too. And I think that's where we saw an extra downward momentum. It worked to contrary of what Treasury had hoped, and unfortunately added more chaos instead of clarity.
Now, the Treasury Secretary also tweeted out assurances on Saturday that President Trump won't fire Powell. Today, the Treasury Secretary spoke with the president's working group on financial markets to coordinate what government agencies can do during the shutdown. Elaine?
All right, Errol, thank you.